remember after the fight, you weren't even aware that you lost.
No, I was pretty much obliviated there. I didn't know what was going on.
Is it true you asked John Horn, your manager, one of your co-managers, what round did I knock him out in?
No, I thought, yeah, of course I thought I knocked him out. But then John said, no, Mike, trust me, you don't know what happened here. Relax. I said, no, I'm okay. And he said, no, Mike, just relax for a minute. Cool, sit down for a minute, and I'll explain to you what happened.
And when he told you, how did you feel?
What the hell? It'd be another day.
I've interviewed you 7, 8 times, and I remember you saying, I lose, I die. Mm-hmm. They'd have to kill me to make me lose in the ring. I remember you telling me.
Well, I fight till I can't fight anymore, you know what I mean? If a situation like that happens and you get hurt, but I'm a strong believer, if you fight to the end, you know what I mean? You don't be afraid. Some guys get hit hard and they lay down because they don't want to take a beating. Real fighters take their beatings like a man because anything can happen.
What do you fear these days? Do you fear anything in the ring these days?
Well, I say it's fear because it's that adrenaline and your heart's boiling and you're just so psyched and it's your imagination playing so many absurd tricks with you. The guy becomes so much bigger, he becomes so much better, faster. Everything he does is so much better than you. And then when you're in the ring, you find out he's just a man like you with 2 arms and legs. And the preparation you put in here and from your past performance, you know why I'm the greatest fighter in the world. And this is my domain. It's just, I refuse to believe there's anyone that could beat me.
Are you concerned that doubt has crept into your psyche? Any doubt, anywhere? I know you said you've never lost confidence,
No.
but is there anywhere in your psyche, Mike, doubt?
I always have doubt because without doubt, a person who's secured in their position, you know what I mean, is in position to lose their security because you can't go in a situation with 100% security because then you leave things open for mistakes because you're totally secured to everything. You're not expecting anything because you're totally secured in everything. So you think in your mind this is secured when it's not necessarily secured because it's
So doubt is a good thing?
Oh, doubt is beautiful.
And doubt you have?
Oh yeah, of course I keep a certain amount of doubt on me. Yes.
And fear, because you said
Yeah.
fear once upon a time. You told me fear is my friend.
You just have to be aware of your situation. I mean, people say there's no one that ever fought, or no one ever played basketball, never have the slight amount of doubt in the back of their mind, and that caused them to perform at a better level because it knows the possibility these people can beat me.
But it didn't seem like you had a lot of doubt against Holyfield the first fight.
Well,
it looked like I'm going to tell you what I thought. I thought you wanted to knock him out with the first punch.
Well, I tried. You know what I mean? That was my mistake, believing a lot of newspaper clippings. But he's a hell of a fighter. I just have a great deal of respect for him as a fighter. And I'm just glad to have this opportunity. And we're going to see if he's really a big boy now.
And what if you were to lose?
Huh?
What if you were to lose?
I can't conceive myself losing. It has to happen for me to even comment on it.
You're that sure?
Yeah.
The eye of the tiger. Do you have the eye of the tiger?
Well, I don't know necessarily what it means as far as demeanor. I know I want to win. That's having eye of the tiger, yeah. I'm sure everybody wants to win. Everybody goes in there with the eye of the tiger, but even the tiger loses. Even the tiger becomes defeated. The tiger becomes frustrated. You know what I mean? And he fought his heart out.
You didn't win, but you showed your heart, your big heart.
Fighters, that's all we have. That's what fighters have. That's why we're famous. We're there to show our heart, our determination. We're there to spill our blood. That's what we're there for. We're there to lose our blood and lose our, whatever it is, our frame of mind, our soul. We're there to, that's what we're there. If we're there for anything else, we're in the wrong business. If we think we're there just to look good and gain fans, no, that's not there. We're there to suffer. We're there to die.
You said you've never before believed that he was the fighter, never dreamed that he was the fighter he was, the awesome counterpuncher that he is. How do you counterattack a counterpuncher?
Well, I'm going to be pretty, I'm pretty up to date next time. I'm not afraid to give, you know, I'm a man. I'm not afraid to give credit where credit is due. But I was just, I never had any idea he could fight as well as he did.
Mike Tyson has been jailed or in reform school for part of his young life, including 3 years in a federal prison for rape. Yet 8 years ago, he told us it wasn't likely it would ever happen again.
Larry Holmes said in the last year, about a year ago, right before your fight with him, that there was no doubt in his mind that you would return to jail. In the last 6 months, with all of it, the slapping incidents, the late-night brawls, the alleged tirades with Robin, the nasty altercations with TV cameras, do you think you were ever in danger of actually going back to jail?
No, not at all. Not at all.
How has real life tested you, though, in ways that boxing couldn't?
Because I'm dealing, you know, I mean, inside I'm totally in control of the situation. Ring, you know, it's just a certain amount of moderation as far as discipline is concerned. You know what I mean? You're in control in the ring. It's something that you're prepared for. You're training months and months for, and then you go in there, and then it's like a diagram. Everything's written out, and everything's planned to do. Outside, it's the unexpected so constantly. You know what I mean? Lurking around, and you don't know what's going to happen day by day. That's how you count the Lord for your blessings, because you're really not promised tomorrow, and anything can happen.
There are two Mike Tysons, clearly.
Maybe more than, you know, I mean, we're all different people at different particular times in our life. Certain things may cause us to act a certain way and be a different individual. You couldn't deal with someone that's very hostile in the way you're dealing with me now. You have to deal with them in a different way. If you had an appetite for confrontation, of course, you would deal with them totally differently.
How do you take the past, make it work for the present, and be better for the future?
Well, we learn from our mistakes in the past, and we hopefully won't repeat them in the future. Basically, you know, you get into little troubles here and there, but then again, you think about it, if somebody took a magnifying glass and just penetrated on you and looked into every little thing and every little dirt you did, people are bound to find some dirt and make something out of this, you know what I mean? I can't help the fact of who I am. I just enjoy being myself.
Do you feel your life's been a success?
I don't know. You know what I mean?
Obviously a boxing success, clearly. Monetarily, you can't ask for more. But do you feel your life has been a success?
It depends on how you define success.
How do you define success?
I don't know. Perhaps just being happy with your kid. I wish my mother was alive to see me. I wish Customado was alive to see me. There's a couple of my friends who are dead now, not around or no longer with us, are probably in prison for the rest of their life. I wish they were around.
Do you think you're a good person?
I think I'm incredible, because most people are just well behaved. You know what I mean? They know what people want to hear, want to say. Oh, I love God, and God is this, God is that. You know what I mean? We're not perfect, and if we were perfect, God would get rid of all of us and put imperfect people on this earth. You know what I mean? Because that's a part of growth. That's how you reach your highest level of understanding, by making these mistakes in the past, so you hopefully won't make them in the future.
What are you proudest of? You said you feel you're an incredible person, incredibly good person. What are you proudest of, Mike Tyson?
That I'm never conceited to the extent that I'm a big-headed guy and I talk bad of it. I'm always considerate for humble people, because I know that feeling, like the people that in prison, the people just get out of prison, no one cares about, no one loves, and I always feel a affinity with those people, because I was one of those people, and probably still am, you know, I mean, just because of my status, people know who I am, but I have a close relationship with those people. And people say, why do you get these bums? Why do you get, because our family was homeless, and I used to remember that situation, and it's just, you look at me, if I can make it, I used to think, if I can make it, I was in the streets all my life. If I can make it, anyone can make it. That's how come I always hang around these neighborhoods, and I tell these guys, listen, man, hang out, touch me, man. You know, I can't give you, this is a big world. I can't put my arms around the whole world. But look, if I can make it, not necessarily you have to be a boxer, but just break your butt to go into school, or else just become some kind of athlete. You got the aptitude for it. But don't be lazy. At a young age, you could do anything you want.
What would you have done differently? There's some obvious things we know, but generally speaking, what would you say you wish you could do over again?
I wish I was better as a child with my parents. I just wasn't a good child.
Obedient?
Yeah, I was very
law-abiding?
rebellious. I was very rebellious, and I was just a hungry kid. And when you're hungry, you don't have respect for civilization, law, authority, or human life. I was just listen. I come from a neighborhood. The worse you are, the more compliments you get.
Especially these days.
Yeah, that's the reality. I don't know about now, but where I came from, the more crimes you committed, the more pats you got on your back. Not how many A's you brought home when you got a pat on your back. That's all I'm here for, just to fight. I guess, get paid, give the people their money's worth, and go home.
You get lonely?
Yeah, more or less.
What do you get lonely of?
Because I feel like I should be, out roaming the streets, like normal kids. I'm always doing a business. It's funny because, you know what I mean? When you're in a professional business, you have, it's like obligations. And like I was saying before, it's like you sold your soul to the devil. You know what I mean? Like if you want to get out of it, but you can't. in it for the rest
But
of
you're
your life.
still a young guy to feel that way. That's a pretty, you know, that's for late in a career to
Yeah,
feel
but
that.
it's funny because I do.
You think that's healthy for a guy that wants to be in the game a long time?
Well, who knows? Like, we know the devil's on our shoulder, but you know, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing what you tell me to do. I'm not gonna go over there and rob that man or kill that person. No, all right, that's cool. That's all right though. You can hang around as long as I know you're here. It's cool.
Raging Bull. Why did you relate to Jake LaMotta and De Niro's portrayal of Jake LaMotta?
It's very simple. You know, what I mean, it's coming from that kind of environment and just being dumped on most of the time, you know, in your life. You know, you think you have a friend, and they're really talking behind your back because you see how they talk about other people when they see him. Hey, how you doing, Joey? It's good seeing you. Then, wasn't Joey such a bum, or wasn't he such a jerk for making a decision with his girl? Oh, and then you just know what they're saying about you. And you know, every time there's a time of despair, they're never there for good times. If they're there, it's for monetary reasons. They have their own interior motives. And we always say, it's just frustrating, and it's mean, it's angry, and just frustrated at everybody. You just want to succeed and let them know that you're not a bum and you're somebody special. And I just related to that movie so well.
It's one of the books that's on your night table, and the book is called The Maverick Mindset. And it says, the subtext, the journey from fear to freedom. Why is that book appealing to you?
It was an interesting book, I thought, and it was a gift from someone. And I just thought I would read through a lot of synopsis of the books, and it was interesting. And the person that told me said he thought that I would find that book interesting, and it was pretty interesting.
But what does that mean, the journey from fear to freedom, to you personally?
It's just overcoming situations that you believe that were unable to be overcome. That's how I take it. People have so many different variations that you can take it, but I always see it as something that a boundary which you never cross because of that fear factor. And by overcoming your fear, just by crossing it and conquering it, and not just necessarily conquering it, because normally it's inconceivable, most of the things that we fear. And that we never really conquer it. Like, God is inconceivable. We don't see him, but we believe in it. And just by his crossing the barrier is a form of freedom. I'm gonna tell you something that sometimes is critical about being successful. The camera is somewhat of a narcotic. It's like a drug. Once you see yourself on television, you say, wow, I should have said that. It would have came along a lot better. If I should have looked more on this side, I would have saw a better side of me. You know, believe it or not, it's a drug. You know what I mean? If it's not handled properly, you could lose your mind.
I just saw a press conference interview with you, and you got mad. And I'll tell you what the question was. The question was, Mike Tyson, it came so easily for you. Everything was a home run in your career, and you got angry. And I know why you got angry. Because it bothered you that people didn't respect your struggle.
Listen, I can't even continue to tell you the situations I've been through in my life. Because I mean, someone see this article and I tell you, please come pick me up, you know what I mean? But the fact is, you know, they don't understand. They don't understand my life. They don't understand the whole chemistry of my existence. You know what I mean? Or who I am or what I am. They think it came so. The only thing they see is the finished product. 50 million here, 100 million. That's all they see. They don't see anything. It's a guy who came from absolutely the worst social circumstances in life, and just eventually, I don't even know how I get it. Met some good people. Bobby Stewart, Custom Models, some good people.
Jimmy Jacobs.
And they had no, listen, I was 12 years old. You really think somebody could really see some talent at 12 years old? Maybe Cus could have, but I was 12 years old. And this guy put his life involved with a 12-year-old kid that had no good intentions when I first came up there. And, you know, it would have been beautiful if that he could have just seen my achievements. I mean, I'm no fool. I know I achieved a lot, and I know who I am, and I know I can go around calling shots, and people get me upset, and I can say, well, all right, make a phone call and buy the building and kick people. Well, listen, that's not what I'm about. I'm all about the people. You know, the people are just the humble people, the ordinary people. I'm no big shot. I try not to change as much, where it's very difficult to. But the people that were my friends before, they're still my friends. And the people, like I said, I didn't like before, I still don't like them. Nothing's changed.
What would you like people who are cynical or skeptical of you know about you? I know maybe it's not important what they know, but what would you wish they could know about you?
I wish they could know if they're not smart enough to be my friend, them. It's just the truth.
Not much is really known about Mike Tyson away from the ring. We know he's had a tragic life, that he lost his mother, his sister, his guardian, and his first manager. We know he grew up on the mean streets of Brownsville, New York. But little, if anything, is known of Mike Tyson, the person. We tried to find out.
I'm Mike Tyson. I'm labeled a dangerous guy, bad guy. But when I was in Boston, know what I really figured out? When I was going through this extensive test, I really figured out that I said, now why am I going through this test? And they didn't understand why I was going to do it. One of the doctors said, they're afraid that you're going to hurt somebody, either in the ring and out the ring. And I was dumbfounded, because I said, what about somebody hurting me? Does anyone care about me being hurt? No one ever cared about Mike. They look at me like I'm some juggernaut. I'm stone cold, no emotion. Because maybe I project myself to be that way because that's my defense mechanism. But in all actuality, I'm very fragile. And that's why I strike out so much, because I'm fragile and I'm easily hurt.
When you look at Mike, does he seem rudderless to you?
Well, Mike Tyson has always looked for a hero. Hard thing to find a hero when you have $1 million, because you don't know how to look. You look for other people with $2 million. And if you have 10, you look for someone with 20. If you have 100, you look for someone with 200 million. It's hard to find heroes. He should find a hero. He should find someone that he can look up, some kind of mentor. Now he's going to have to be his own hero.
Oh, sure. I never had no hero in my life. You know what I mean? I never had a man figure in my life until I met Cuss, you know. But I don't know, I never had no heroes.
Remember Raging Bull, the movie?
Yes.
There's that scene with Jake LaMotta. I think it really did happen, but it was in the movie. Robert De Niro, as Jake LaMotta, starts banging his head against the wall. Why?
He was in prison, right?
Yeah. Did you ever feel that way?
I'm too sophisticated to do that. You know, it's just, I'm no brute. You know, just things happen, and I said, well, listen, I screwed up, this happened, and we deal with them. You know, Cus D'Amato taught me how to be. He was a strong me, and I'm strong, and I'm mean. And there's nothing that could break my spirit from that perspective. Nothing's gonna make me get on there. I'm never gonna get on my knees to no one and worship them and say sorry or kiss anybody's ass or be a yes man.
The only man who can beat me, you once said, is me, meaning yourself. Mike Tyson outside the ring. Have you given the Mike Tyson inside the ring a tough fight?
I've never been innocent a day in my life. I've been corrupted all my life, so you have to say this in another capacity, meaning what?
Do you think you've let yourself down from what you wanted to be in that ring?
Listen, in all actuality, if I don't go to the Boxing Hall of Fame for my credentials, they shouldn't be a Boxing Hall of Fame. I don't need anyone anyway, you know what I mean? Regardless of how egotistical that may sound, I really believe that. I don't need anybody. I can handle things on my own. Even though sometimes you might have to get the short end of the stick, I basically believe I don't need anybody.
What makes your heart light?
Yes, watching my daughter say something new, or yes, my daughter Mikey calls me on the phone and says something. I say, what else you got to tell me? I got to go. I got to talk to John. I got to take care of some bills. What else do you got to tell me? Oh, I love you. I love you too. Thank you, Daddy. And I hang, you know, that's cool. I think that's pretty cool.
That could get you going for the whole day, couldn't it?
Oh, that's something.
Do you like being a dad?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
How does it humble you?
It's I hate when you have to get up in the morning, you hear the baby crying, and have to nudge.
You sleep with the baby?
Huh?
You sleep with the
No,
baby?
I don't sleep with the baby. Every now and then we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I always nudge your mother and tell her, you gotta take take care of the diapers.
What do you want for your children?
You know, my children, they have the opportunity to have a good life. They have
Obviously.
a good opportunity to have a good life. You know what I mean? Better, more so than I am. I don't know. I just want to hope that they become good people and they survive their lives. You know what I mean? Because it's just difficult. You know, it's gonna be new to me. I never dealt with kids that was in that particular situation. Kids that don't ever have to worry about going to the best schools if they have the proper ingenuity to get there. And it's just it's different. It's new to me too. I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. Scholastically inclined and all that stuff. It's just it's so new that you got to make sure your kids get into the best schools. At least before I said, well, send them to public school, but no, they have to go to private schools where they get the best education. You know what I mean?
So, you know, it's interesting, Mike. You've become conservative over the years. You've become a guy who's become a fairly suspicious and suspect person about the world around you. And You want to protect your kids from all of that.
You know, you have to because, you know, when you think about when people say, well, I want my kid to grow up like me, we're lucky. I'm lucky. My son may not be lucky to survive what I survived. My daughter may not be lucky to survive. I don't want them to be some radical nuts. You know, I don't want them to say, well, we're going to fight for this cause. I want them to say, yes, sir, no, sir, and just go to school. And I know people say, you weren't like that, but
You weren't like that.
I know, but they may not be lucky and be out there in the streets hustling. You know, I'm just so happy that they're in the situation financially, and they got a good, listen, they got a father that cares about them, and they got a mother who's bright and intelligent and knows all the proper way of taking care of children. And what did I have? I had a mother who was alcoholic, and I had a father who was a pimp, a hustler in the streets. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's going to make them a better person than I am, but hopefully from their situation they get a better life than I had.
You're not much of a sports fan outside of boxing, are you?
No.
Why? You don't like the other sports?
I haven't been familiar with the other sports as I was in boxing. I've been in boxing since I was like 12 years old, so I didn't have enough chance to like, pick around and play sports, because when I used to live in Brooklyn, I never played sports.
Remember you told me that once. I'm not an athlete. I'm nothing special.
I used to know, I'm not a Mike Tyson. If I was a fight fan, I wouldn't be my fan.
You wouldn't be your fan?
No, I wouldn't be my fan.
Why?
I don't know, I wouldn't deal with I don't know, it's just very difficult to say. I just wouldn't like the way that that whole situation goes as far as my life is concerned, because sometimes I want to say this word without sounding so bizarre. I'm an overwhelming individual sometimes. You know what I mean? And
Too much.
Yeah, sometimes I'm too overwhelming. And sometimes I feel even back offish for myself sometimes in that way. And that's why sometimes I say, well, it's just sometimes too complicated to deal with that issue.
Why? Why? Because I think deep down, the realer person is that person, the person who wants to do good, but feels that he has to do bad so he can keep that image, the menacing Mike Tyson.
No, I'm not menacing. I mean, on the contrary, I'm pretty considerate and loving towards my children and my wife, but the fact is, that's just not realistic. No one's lily white, no one's perfect, and I don't want to be put in that category. You know what I mean? Because at times, if I'm upset, I'll fight. I'll strike someone or something. Someone upset me to the degree I feel threatening for my life, for my children, I'll strike somebody. And may do worse than that, but the fact is, I'm just out here surviving, and I just want to take care of my kids.
Mike Tyson, a student of boxing and of warriors. He is part of the sports history and is fascinated by the world's history.
Alexander the Great.
The baddest cat there is. You know why? The fact is, he was just a boy, and he took over most of the world as it was known.
Did you read all you could get your hands on?
Oh, everything. Yeah,
you know he was gay. Did you know?
I don't know anything about that.
I'm just telling you, okay?
How do you know? I never read anything about him being gay.
That's what I hear.
But listen, can I tell you, he kicked a lot. This gay guy kicked a lot of ass. All right.
That's that what you like most about him? That he kicked it?
I don't care what he does. He got the job done. I'm more interested in mostly in not why somebody's doing something, but just what would cause them to do it. You know what I mean? Like you see a guy climbing the mountain. I'm not interested in that, but I would watch it to find out what would make this guy want to climb that mountain. Why? What is the purpose of him climbing this mountain, Mount Everest? Why do you want to climb this? And you know the possibility you can't come back down. And you know the history of the climbing this mountain, that 90% of the people, if not more, have died climbing this mountain. Why would you want to do it?
So why do you climb the mountain? Why do you get in that ring? I want to know why.
Hey, no one can really tell. I could tell you that, well, because I love it and I've been doing it all my life. And sometimes it's just like, who knows, like a clock that just keeps ticking. You know that story about the elephant that you put the chain on his leg around the pole, and he just keeps going around the pole, then you take the chain off, and he doesn't know the chain's off, and he just keeps going around the pole out of habit. And sometimes you just think it's out of habit.
But that's joyless. That's just habit.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Habit is repetitious. Repetitious is done out of consideration and out of desire. I'm cried out, man. I cried so many times, I mean, I can't cry anymore. I get mad, I pray, I may curse, I may quote the Quran. You know what I mean? There's different variables here, but I'm just me. You know what I mean? I get upset, you know what I mean? I like to laugh, you know what I mean? I love my children. I may get angry at them, sometimes I get angry at my wife, sometimes I'm just human. You know what I mean? The everyday guy, I can't imagine somebody being jealous of me if they wanted my life. A lot of people couldn't have. They would kill themselves if they had my life.
You got to do this. Come on, take the hat off for a second. Now look at this. That little bald spot there, that's from worry?
Who told you it was from
Stress. It's from stress.
How do you know?
Because you told me.
You're right.
It's from stress, and then that started from the bone crusher
No,
Smith
because,
bite?
you know, my doctor told me that's what it was from.
What do you want people most to remember about you as a fighter, but more importantly as a man?
You know what I mean? I never been concerned with what someone thought about me. I just live my life. You know what I mean? Just try to live my life how I can. You know what I mean? It's up to people to basically have their opinion what they think about me. I can't say, well, you think I'm a good guy, ain't I? You know, you can't go around and get on a survey. What do you think about me? What do you think? You know, what the hell? I'm living my life.